And it's
Okay.
interesting that there are American or First Nation Alaskan tribes that believe that you are an ancestor. There are no ghosts because you're reborn as somebody who's already passed. So it's fascinating that they're taking over the body of another person, basically.
Yeah, I mean, effectively we are anyway, because
Pretty
I
much.
am my mother, I am my father, I am my grandparents on both sides. So yeah, I can see that.
We're just so much recycling.
Thank goodness I didn't inherit my grandfather's nose, but I'm good to go.
Well, here's another interesting thing to ponder too, is that you were actually formed in your grandmother. Because while she was um, pregnant
Gestating?
with your mother, yes, um, all the eggs that you will have in your lifetime uh, are in embryonic stage. So technically, you were in your grandmother too. So it's possible because people do play music uh, to their unborn children to try to get them into that. It's possible you're remembering things because the sensory was so strong, even in your grandmother while she was pregnant with your mother.
Huh. That's probably a good idea. Yeah, I
Hey,
could very
vital theory.
well have been listening to, big band music that my mother was listening to, but to be honest with you, she really wasn't into big band music. Neither was my dad. My mom liked, what you would refer to as almost like easy listening, and my dad listened to bluegrass. So I wasn't subject to listening to big band music, but at the same time, my grandmother, my mom's mom, she loved big band music. I mean, that was just something that she was totally smitten with, but yet she never played it as long as I knew her. So where I got it from, I don't know.
So, do you believe in UFOs? Wow, had to lure
Run
socks
that by
off.
me again.
Do you believe in UFOs? Aliens?
Well, there's a distinction too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 90-degree turn around a corner there, Cat.
Uh, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that there is some sort of life form somewhere else in the universe. I mean, there is just no way that you can have that many possible planets out there and not have some sort of life on it. There's just no way that there couldn't be some form of life somewhere else. Whether or not they're actually close enough or have the ability to visit us, I don't know. Um, that's something that I've never really given a great deal of thought about. I kind of wonder whether or not maybe the so-called aliens aren't really some sort of an interdimensional being rather than a extraterrestrial being. I wonder about that, and that could be why they're able to appear, disappear. Um, their so-called propulsion and so forth could be on a different plane. Um, I wonder about that rather than it being some being that has the capability of traveling hundreds, if not thousands, of light years. And why in the world would they want to be here? That's what I wondered. Of all the planets that there are in the universe, why Earth? Why do they
Well,
keep coming back here?
take into account Earth has something that is such in front of our noses we don't pay attention, and that is we have not infinite but seemingly infinite amount of life beyond the sentient humans and dolphins and such. Every blade of one of the things that always blew me away in the first Charlton Heston Planet of the Apes film was they're walking around the desert at first, the astronauts, and one of the guys says, "Captain, life," and there's this tiny little sprig of green coming out of the dirt, and the three of them are like, "Oh my God, there's life here," even though obviously there could be bacteria and life forms. So maybe we could be a wilderness preserve to other planetary systems. They may not have as much life on their system as we have here. You're like, whoa, how'd they get so lucky? And why are they wrecking it?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. And I mean, of all the people that little green men always seem to want to come and abduct, I can think of a whole lot of people that I wouldn't mind seeing taken off the face of the earth, but they manage to just, pick people at random, and yeah. So that's the unfortunate thing. They pick some people and then bring them back. Daggone it.
Well, it's like tag and release. I mean, like we do with some wildlife, they pick up someone, put it in an implant, and say, "We'll check on you in a few months or a year or so."
Yeah.
And a lot of people consider that bloodlines has a thing, because a lot of times if somebody gets abducted back in the 50s or 60s, their offspring or grand offspring may sort of find themselves being targeted, as I think some people like to call them.
Jeff, you're still kind of breaking up.
When
of course,
some people that I know of that believe in UFOs or extraterrestrial beings that are experimenting on human beings to make them smarter or something like that. I can't help but wonder where people get that idea as well, saying, "Oh, well, Einstein had to have been an alien. There's just no way that somebody with that small of a brain could have been that smart." Or someone like Stephen Hawking. How could he have been so smart? He had to have been subjected to some sort of an alien experimentation in order to make them smart. I don't understand that theory. If they only do it to a certain group of people instead of a whole lot of people, it really doesn't make a great deal of sense why they would only just cherry pick like one person from this decade and one person from that decade, and let's give this person the idea of doing this and this, this and this. It's like savants or prodigies. Heck, look at Mozart. Mozart was not taught how to play music. He just started doing it. And his father saw his talent and promoted it. And he was writing music when he was a child. Where did that come from? You wonder, where did that kind of a talent come from? Or how is it that people who are autistic savants are able to listen to a particular piece of music and be able to duplicate it with absolute perfection? How is that? Where is it in the brain that does that? These people are not manipulated by UFOs or extraterrestrials. Where this ability comes from, I don't know. But I don't think we're being experimented on. Goodness knows that if they've been doing it all this time, why are they still mutilating cows? That doesn't make any sense. Sure, go ahead and abduct a whole bunch of people, but why do they keep mutilating cows?
Well, they can't walk into Kroger's and ask for a half pound of beef.
Yes, Exactly. If you want a beef tongue, yeah, just go into the grocery store and ask for it. Gosh.
I was going to say that, I think aliens are a bit more intelligent than to develop space travel just for coming to Earth for a cheeseburger.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll go out of my way to go get a good cheeseburger, don't I?
Or a Butterfinger.
Yeah.
Like that goofy commercial.
Oh,
the alien with the Butterfinger.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
so.
Also take into account, a lot of people theorize that they're trying to maybe save their own world, which is why they're doing a hybridization program. And they're, well, a lot of people have indicated being on board ships and had. I actually met with a woman at a convention who was a speaker, and she had indicated one year her abduction. Oh, shut up! What are you telling me? My phone. She had indicated having been abducted, and out of nowhere she became pregnant. And then the following year, back to the next convention when she was speaking, before she got about halfway through her pregnancy, all of a sudden it disappeared. She had no memory of being picked up by by an alien or anything, or by a ship or anything. And I was like, I am so looking forward to finding out where this story goes from here. And that was the last time she came to, and I had no way of finding her. I was like, oh no, talk about a cliffhanger.
Her alien didn't have a room at the Paramus Holiday Inn that looked like a spaceship.
Oh, that was one of the funniest movies, times of that movie. Oh, goodness.
There is a story, and I don't think there's been any follow-up to it, of a woman who claims that she worked in a lab somewhere in Germany, I think, that promoted time travel, and somehow she got on the ability on this list to time travel and went to a different part of the earth, and that was taken over by aliens and became impregnated and came back, and somehow she's now pregnant. I think she was supposed to have her kid back in December, but I haven't heard anything since.
Huh.
So there's all sorts of weird theories out there. I don't know. Yeah. And it's interesting. I was watching. Go ahead, Jeff.
I was just going to say, when you were indicating about cherry picking, remember, these are only cases about which we know. Because a lot of times, if people are, pardon the expression, done right, and they don't have an alien intern doing the memory erasure process, most of them probably don't even realize that they were picked up. They might realize there was missing time, but they won't remember what it is.
Very true. Yeah. I was watching the Science Channel, and they had a really good explanation as to why the theory of we're being processed for food.
Ew.
And the same with cattle and all of that is that when we are predisposed on this planet anyway as a carbon-based life form, and our digestive systems have evolved to eat what is on this planet. The fact that another alien species probably is going to have a completely different digestive system, different digestive enzymes, all of that sort of thing, so that we wouldn't be palatable food for them.
No, I wouldn't think so.
So no more alien. It's a cookbook sort of thing.
Yeah.
I've seen those shows that are transporting people to their planet or something like that, and come to find out that the information they're given is really a cookbook for them.
Yeah, that's right. Classic Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
How to Serve Man.
Yeah. That's it.
Yes.
Well, one thing's for certain: if aliens were indeed trying to harvest human beings for food, they'd have to make sure that they stayed away from anyone and everyone that is on the South Beach diet and keto, because there wouldn't be enough meat on anybody's bones to fill a table.
Yeah.
And we're not gluten free.
And
Yeah.
vegans.
All right, we are going to take us a quick break, and about 4 or 5 minutes, something like that. So give you time to go get a drink or something. Just remember the mics will be live, so be quiet till we come back. And we're going to let Jeffrey take us out for a break.
Yeah, well, you're listening to the Paranormal View on para-x.com with hosts Henry Foister, Ceiling Cat Barbara Duncan, and myself, Jeffrey Gould, with tonight's returning guest, Cat Snider Gasch. So stay tuned for more of the Paranormal View after the break.